Remember in school, some kid asking, "Do you collect stamps?" before crushing your foot? Well, here's one for you. They wouldn't have been so disrespectful if they'd seen 1989's oddly titled VHS Michaela's Stamp Channel. After the birthday tape, Michaela Strachan's now 2 for 2 in Unlucky Dips, and the British Madonna was clearly in demand for the straight-to-video market. This one shares a director with Everything You Need to Know About Buying and Selling a Used Car But Were Afraid to Ask, starring Eric Idle. Opening titles bring a funky bass riff, and the reminder that people on telly are always smaller than you think.
Michaela, and this is Michaela's Stamp Channel, and in the next 50 minutes you're going to find out how much fun stamp collecting can be.
Stamps are fun and not boring like everyone says, is the whole MO, and the tape's copyrighted to the Royal Mail as a way of getting kids into buying collector's sets. I mean, who needs a fancy Nintendo when you've got stamps?
I can even work on the railroad! Stop! 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 Or I can captain an ocean liner. There's my ship.
Note: purchasers cannot physically enter stamps.
Here are the rules of stamp collecting.
Rules? I thought stamps was meant to be fun.
Well, there are no rules. You can collect stamps any way you like.
Yes! Up yours, Thatcher. Aiding Michaela is the stamp collecting mascot.
Thanks, Michaela, but I'm not exactly a kid. I'm your friendly neighbourhood stamp bug. You know, stamp collectors have one thing in common. Of course, they collect stamps.
Non-specific insect, the stamp bug, was mascot for the Stamp Bug Club, for which this is just a giant advert, flogging commemorative albums as a sort of Panini football stickers for kids who never made it to a single lunch with their dinner money intact. At its peak, the club had 70,000 members, with Bug showing up in the usual 80s merch of badges and stickers.
Beautiful, aren't they? And if you stick them on a letter, off it goes. What's a Huggles token? I don't know, I've never been huggled.
Since I know you're going to ask, yes, they do show Bug in a nappy. He does a quiz using a secret code, and is this whole tape an MI6 op to smuggle out messages to double agents in an animated Bugs quiz about stamps? It's the perfect cover. Only question is, was Michaela in on it?
Stamps. Now, believe it or not, that is a Bhutan stamp you're listening to.
I'm afraid I don't believe it.
That's pretty weird, isn't it?
She visits a family member to get more stamps, and the brass neck on this.
Hi, Uncle Albert.
In 1989. Off to see your dipstick cousin Rodders next, are ya?
I've got another one here. This is from the States.
A Canadian Uncle Albert and all. In fact, it's a real multicultural area.
Listen, why don't you get in contact with some of the other people in the neighborhood? There's Mrs. Patel, she's down at the corner shop, Mr. Chow, he's at the takeaway, and Mr. Bernosky at the bakery.
I suppose Mr. McSporran is down at the off-licence. Sometimes, no matter how you try to jazz something up, the payoff can't match the promised excitement.
This is John Davis, and he knows an awful lot about stamp collecting.
Well, the good thing about stamps is there are really lots of different ways to start.
If you think kids aren't into stamps, you thought wrong, as Michaela interviews a bunch of them.
Michaela, do you know what this is? It's penny black.
Hayley, did you start off as a stamp collector or a collector of Walt Disney memorabilia?
Started off as a stamp collector.
Imran, you've got a first day cover.
Yes, I got it from the post office. I'll tell you about it.
OK.
Is this stamp collecting or a ruddy fashion show? Think someone's going to see this and invite him to the catwalks of Milan, this kid.
Flying free, flying high, flashing wings across the sky. Geordie Racer.
I went to the counter where a lady sold me a first day cover showing the history of industrial archaeology.
This is how the class cool kids sat in the 80s, with earrings the size of pizza slices.
Each year, a young people's stamp collecting contest is held. It's called the Melville Competition.
Some nasty gossip going round, actually, that you went to the Melville competition and got your head kicked in.
My garden has a pond with a fountain, waterflies and some goldfish.
That's a rather sweet poem from the Melville, isn't it?
I have a toad and a frog in my pond. I have a cat at home called Topsy. She does go out in the garden and out in the front. I'm afraid in case she gets run over.
Fanny, Lady Garden. What does Michaela call hers?
So shall I just lick the back then?
Like lots of these videos, the music is the best bit. This is the soundtrack to the greatest platform game the Amiga never had.
So, the postal service was started. But the person who received the letter had to pay for it without knowing what was inside. Even bills. Needed was a method by which the sender paid for the letter, not the person to whom it was addressed.
We're treated to a look at how actual stamps are made.
The deepest area of the etch on the cylinder is only 1.5 thousandths of an inch.
Oh, that's the same size as your cock. And remember, stamps aren't boring.
These margin markings are the printer's cylinder numbers. Some collectors prefer the adjacent 6 stamps or the cylinder block. This is a 4-stamp cylinder block. Collecting joined together stamps is very popular.
It's testament to Michaela's professionalism that she keeps her enthusiasm going, no matter what.
Let's have a look at this one close up. My tweezers. Oh, it's brilliant! Okay, it's time for the stamp game! Yay!
Bug himself comes out at the end, with all of his Stamp Club tat. But oh, if only Hollywood put as much thought into their soundtracks as these straight-to-video guides with Michaela Strachan. They obviously couldn't find many children into stamps, as loads of them are related to each other. That nerd with the glasses brought his own kids in. This is the real post office scandal.
Bye! See you next time! Woo!
The only thing more popular than stamps in the 80s was aerobics, and growing up, every lady seemed to be wearing lycra half the time. But it hasn't given me a fetish or anything. You couldn't even eat your breakfast without being made to do jumping jacks with the Green Goddess on the BBC, and TVAM's Mad Lizzie Webb putting everyone through their paces. Just to be clear, Lizzie's mad in that 80s sense of the word, when everyone was a bloomin' loon, and as far as I know, never went berserk with a hammer. Having said that, the intro's straight queasy techno folk horror. Who's holding her feet when she does sit-ups? The Hexam Heads?
Hello. This video is all about your daily lifestyle, how to make the most of yourself and how to take care of yourself.
Note the number in the corner, part of an innovative system allowing viewers to fast forward directly to whichever section they need. Imagine they'd done this on all videos. You wouldn't have had to spend ages faffing round through Under Siege for the bit when her off Baywatch jumps out of a cake.
So I'm going to encourage you to take a good look at yourself, not just at your figure, but at your whole way of life.
Well, this is going off. No, come on. Do it for your beloved subscribers.
If you follow this exercise, body care and beauty program, you'll end up looking good, feeling better, and what's more, presenting yourself more confidently.
An aspirational figure in their living rooms every morning, the women of Britain trusted Lizzie. As such, she can be very forthright.
Or has it been difficult to get back into shape after the baby or having a hysterectomy operation?
Half the tape's a daily exercise routine.
Are you ready? Then here we go. Shake out the legs. Now stand with your feet and legs comfortably apart and swing those arms up and down.
This is pure 80s home aerobics, before CrossFit, before gym culture and high-intensity workouts. A lovely gentle routine. I probably burned more calories typing this script.
Oh, breathe in some nice fresh air. A nice little rock. And really swoop it. Oh, that's difficult. You might need a chair for that. Down you come. Come on down. Swing the hips. Raise the arms. And see you next time.
Some workouts are a bit more specific.
Now clench and unclench the hands.
Just like that. Just like that. Just like that.
Does yours ever stick out? Do you have a job getting the zip up sometimes?
I mean, I don't like to brag. Dating it worse than the music or hair is innocently giving away her feet material for free. In 2024, this is like getting your hinge out. This tape must have been a bestseller with the feet lads. Imagine if one of them tagged the timecode of this bit in the comments and I got like 10 million views. That'd be really embarrassing, profiting off it like that. Oh, sorry, one sec. Hello? No, it didn't work. Still stinks. Scrubbed it with Jif lemon and everything. No, the doctors are baffled. Apparently a photo of it's going in the Lancet. Yeah, I'll keep you updated. Okay, bye. Sorry about that.
Take them down. Bring them back up to the centre. Cross the body. And again. You can put a little weight on your hands if you want support. Now float a little bit faster. Side, roll.
Once again, the soundtrack is the standout, with classic aerobics music.
So, with some music, we'll slump. Settle yourselves. Same thing to your left. And again to your right. Reach out. Turn over again. So you uncurl. And over.
From pure synthwave adrenaline, I can feel the pounds just dropping off.
And pull in the tummy. Now up you come. Into that erect sitting position. Up you come. Open out. Hold that position and slump.
There's an incredible selection of outfits, and in every scene, Lizzie's fit for the Met Gala, to stand beside some young rapper whose name's written in wingdings, and wears naught but an empty bag of Monster Munch on his William. Mum's advice before your monthly visit with Dad at his bedsit.
And open the windows for fresh air, top ones if possible.
Lizzie's manner as a motivational speaker could be categorised as kindly berating.
Stop. Don't do it. Stop and think about yourself.
Do I have to?
But it's no good unless you face up to yourself and be really honest. Is it because you're bored? Is it because you're lonely? Is it because you're a bit depressed?
All of the above.
Up you sit through a curved spine.
I make YouTube videos for a living. My back's shaped like someone's signature.
Are you a bit ashamed about it? Yes? I'm much less likely to be down in the dumps. If I can do it, you can do it.
Me to myself after drinking my first glass of water of the day, 5 minutes before going to bed.
Look after you. You owe it to yourself. But it is worth making the time to care for your body on a regular basis.
Oh, don't you worry about that, love.
And really, you know your own body better than anyone else.
More's the bleeding pity. The beauty section made me a bit sad, imagining the sort of depressed, lonely women who had to buy a video for a surrogate pal to tell them the correct way to moisturise.
Then you take a second cotton wool pad to avoid cross-infection.
That reminds me, I must take that book about Ed Gein back to the library.
Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Are the whites of your eyes clear or a little bit discoloured and bloodshot?
Lady, I work a 70-hour week making this shit. I can barely even see you through all the floaters. On that subject, some of the tape's so worn out, it's unwatchable.
Now what about those roaming hands? What do you do with them? And cup them very lightly together. And what about that tongue? Is it a bit furry? You know what I mean. And for stage 2, join me on the floor in the comfort and privacy of our own bedrooms. So you feel a gentle gripping sensation. Up you come, hold on to the ankles. So as you rise up, see how it straightens up. Practice looking in a mirror and do it to yourself. Hold on to the back of a chair if you're finding it difficult. Don't cross your legs. And if it still hurts, stop. What about your lips and around your mouth? And no gripping sensation. And what about the rest of the body? How should we take care of that? Well, fiddling with your rings is a favourite one. Hold on to a ring, but don't fiddle with it. And if your heart's beating faster, take a few deep breaths. And up you come through those thighs.
Once it gets out of the aerobics and into self-improvement, proceedings start to feel more like the induction to a cult. Holding our eye the entire time, Lizzie talks junk food with the gravity of someone in an underground bunker, warning against venturing out into the nuclear winter.
It can give you a bad heart. It can make you prone to general ill health. It can give you a bad skin. It can give you lank hair. It can deplete your energy and give you allergies. And as you know, it can give you cellulite.
Forget Acid Rain or Dennis Nilsson. The worst thing that could happen to you in the 80s was not being thin.
And that's all on top of the simple fact that it makes you fat. But the crux of the matter is this. Being fat is depressing. So then where are you? Fatter and even more depressed.
She even gives us a mantra to stop it from happening.
So say after me and say it every day. I'm looking after my health. Say it. I'm looking after my family's health. I don't want junk food, but I do want lovely fresh food. From now on, I'm going to prepare and cook food that's good for me. I'm going to look good, feel better, and I'm going to be full of energy.
Could have been a bit snappier. Still going, look. People are going to be late for work if they have to recite this every morning.
You've done it!
Viewers can't do anything themselves. Lizzie even telling us how to sit properly, not like a loser.
What about the leg flappers?
Here, miss. Do you find that nobody respects you? Perhaps you just sit all wrong.
How can we improve our sitting posture and doing all these weird things? Well, when you sit down, put your bottom into the back of the chair. Never sit on the edge. Don't slouch. And never cup your hands into your hands like this.
My hands into my hands? Sounds like someone needs to watch a video about speaking proper. But that cult joke I made, I was just being silly, exaggerating for comic effect. I mean, Lizzie Webb's end goal is not to bring about full helter-skelter.
Remember, the eyes are the mirror of the soul. Eye-to-eye contact is the fundamental aspect of communication. You control people with your eyes.
Intent on turning a generation of British women into TV-AM Stepford wives, Lizzie's guide on the correct way to walk into a room
A clutch bag is a good support too as a prop. Right, you're ready to go to walk into that crowded room. And do get your length of stride right. Don't march in with the stride really wide apart. It isn't elegant at all.
The tape ends with your mad lass relaxing so hard it looks like she died, which is a lesson for us all. Keep them legs jiggling, guys. If you do want to relax, what better than a holiday? But where to go? Jersey, you say? I don't know anything about it. Find me an expert, one who's been unexpectedly filmed while going about his business.
Deciding on the right holiday can be difficult, can't it? But if you're looking for somewhere where, you can relax on the beach, enjoy good food, experience local traditions, I think I've got the perfect answer.
Go on.
So sit back and join us in a colourful conducted tour of the island of Jersey.
Thanks to its location as setting for Bergerac, Nettles effectively became Jersey's de facto ambassador, writing 2 books about the island, though neither with the quality of cover seen on his autobiography. The love affair betwixt man and landmass hit a rocky patch in 2010, when a documentary series Nettles wrote and presented about Jersey's role in the war led to him receiving hate mail from residents over the implication they'd been collaborators. But this is 1994, with a souvenir VHS whose subtitle, "Relive the Memories of Your Holiday," suggests we're about to see covertly filmed footage of ourselves. If I'd ever been to Jersey, I'm sure I'd remember it. Especially if she was there. Can't wait to see her in the video.
And if your heart's beating faster, take a few deep breaths.
With his scarf and panto villain facial hair, few men have ever looked as hunky. I think your mum kept this tape hidden inside the Mad Lizzie case.
Then join me as we sample a taste, just a taste, of this rather special island of Jersey.
Don't mind if I do.
Hello.
Essentially, this is a relentless pounding with facts and figures, as though Jim Bergerac's going to make you sit an exam at the end, and if you get less than top marks, he'll toss you off the cliff.
The island is made up of 12 parishes, with the town of St Helier in the south as its capital. He lived in caves, such as La Cotte in the parish of St Brelade, where many of his artefacts were found.
There's a tour of Jersey's 5 beaches. Bit greedy?
A different beach for every day of your holiday. This is Jersey's proud boast. The north coast is full of small, secluded bays.
What would I need seclusion for? What are you suggesting, Nettles? But if you don't like sand, there's waxworks of historical figures. Oh! For those who love eating out, visitors can sample a wide range of the kind of fine cuisine the family in Texas Chainsaw Massacre put out when they've got guests coming. Plus plenty of interesting museums.
Alongside the dolmen, you'll find a German command bunker.
Nothing from the Allied side? No, that sort of thing wouldn't interest me at all.
In the tunnel complex, visitors can experience for themselves the hardships endured by the forced labourers as they clawed their way deep into the hillside.
Might just go to the beach for a lolly. Thanks though. Come on, Jersey must be known for more than that.
The Jersey cow is famous the world over for its exceptionally high milk and butter yield. And that most famous of island animals, the Jersey cow, renowned throughout the world for the quality of its milk.
The way he talks about cows, you'd think he fancies them or something.
With careful breeding, the Jersey herds have produced one of the most attractive-looking animals to be found anywhere.
And with a handful of grass, they can quite easily be led to one of the many secluded bays. Once again, the music is the best part. I can't believe VHS synth isn't its own genre. Some of this seems like he's messing with us.
Its bakehouse offers an insight to the preparation and making of Jersey's unique cabbage loaves, where each loaf is placed on a cabbage leaf and cooked in an oven prepared 24 hours earlier.
If you go there and ask for a cabbage loaf, they blow a horn, and everyone comes out of their houses to laugh at you.
The main export is still potatoes. Which British housewife has never heard of the famous Jersey Royal?
Say I want to bring home a souvenir though. What then?
A gift unique to the island is the cabbage walking stick.
Alright, piss off. 1 cabbage walking stick, please. Whey, we got another one. It's the same bloody fella. But slowly you begin to feel that something's off. This whole thing is bait, meant to lure an adult virgin to the island for sacrifice, or else the BBC will not commission a new series of Bergerac. Week's end you'll find yourself leading the parade, waving your cabbage sceptre, wearing your cabbage crown, sat astride the most beautiful cow you've ever seen. Behind you, small children are blacked up as aboriginals.
Whether your taste is for the music of the minstrels...
And which minstrels would they be? Even though she never turned up, I suppose I need to balance the cons of being sacrificed versus the promise of classic variety. Go on then. What say we all to a road trip?
I'll be looking for you!